Well, good morning, folks. Pastor Rocky. Today is day 89. It is Christmas Eve today. It's in the middle of the morning, and we are coming to you thanking God for his many blessings and the challenges by which we face every single day. It's been amazing to me how God has used so many different things. I mean, really and truly, it's just absolutely amazing to see what God has done and what he is doing. When you think about a trust, and trust is a big thing, you know. I mean, it's very important to be able to trust somebody. And if you've been around in your life in many different places, it's kind of hard to trust people because, you know, whether it be church or whatever it may be, unfortunately, it's hard sometimes to trust somebody. And today, the world will be, well, at least in the U.S., will be celebrating Christmas Eve today. And as we think about that, you know, we know it's not the right time as far as the accurate time that Jesus was born and all that. We don't know that exactly, of course, but we also know that it's a time that people sort of, you know, migrate to. And sometimes they, you know, you're bringing gifts, you're doing this, you're doing that. But the trust issue is a very important issue because Jesus Christ came to save that which is lost. He came to become like us as men and obviously as people. So if you think about trust and you really get the value of trust, you have to think about Joseph, because Joseph is the guy that had the sort of the biggest responsibility. I mean, Mary was visited by Gabriel. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a major thing. Major. But Joseph is visited and said, trust me. Now, Mary had something happening inside of her. Now, you got to think about that for a minute. She's got something going on inside of her. Joseph is being told, trust me no matter what you see. When you see Mary growing, when you see Mary changing, trust me. When you see people ridicule and hear people say things that are unkind, trust me. No matter what rebuke you get, trust me. How hard is that? It's pretty hard. Especially when you look at a situation where you know that what you know is true. Now, Joseph knew that he was an honorable person. The Bible calls him in Matthew 1 a just man, which is so very important. In verse 19 of chapter 1, he is a just man. That means righteous. He's a righteous guy. He is in a situation that nobody's lining up for. Of course, Mary, obviously, in the same situation, but there's also a different circumstance. Mary has got something that's happening, as mentioned, inside of her. Joseph has to watch from a distance and trust God and believe God. Now, you talk about somebody having to walk with God. Joseph is a man of integrity that had to walk with God and believe God for something that is so impossible, it cannot happen. It's ridiculous. It can't take place. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you're about. You cannot get pregnant without the help of a man. And when the man in question has been told, trust me, I'm going to work it out, this guy has got to be almost impeccable. I mean, it's unbelievable to think about the character of Joseph. Now, let me ask you this question. What are you waiting on God to do in your life? Now, tonight we have Christmas Eve service at 5:30. Love to have you be a part of it. It'll be online if you don't get there, but we'd love to have you there. Got a special guest that will blow your mind. I mean, tonight, it's going to blow your mind what's going to happen. 5:30 at our church, candlelit, beautiful. It's going to be fantastic. So, in the situation of Joseph, thinking about all the ramifications of all the things that are happening and all the things that are going to happen, here's a guy that has been told it's all right. Wow. I mean, now, ladies, I mean this the best way. Ladies are more willing than men to understand. Men have a hard time of getting it. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is or why it is, but we as men have such a hard time to get, especially where pride comes in. Because to father a child, I'm proud to do that. To be a dad, I'm proud. Joseph is told, your wife is carrying God's son. Are you kidding me? Think about this man's integrity. Think about the impossibility of what he has been told to do. It is absolutely impossible for Joseph to understand or believe what he's been told unless he's had experience with God before. So let's ask that question. Where are you in your relationship with God to believe that all things, Matthew 19:26, all things are possible with God? Now, folks, this is all things. This is major. What are you waiting on? Let me ask you that question. What are you waiting on God to do that you've just about given up? You've just about thrown the towel in. You've just about said it can't happen. Well, listen, if you want to talk about something that can't happen, Mary can't have a baby without the help of a man. Joseph would be a fool to believe that unless he had experience with God. Today, as we recognize in America, Christmas Eve, people will be rushing and fussing and trying to get from place to place. And they'll try to make everybody happy, and that's not going to happen, but they're going to try anyway. But Joseph is a man that understood that God is God, and with him, trust is critical. So I ask you this question. Early in the morning, on the 24th day of December, early in the morning, on the 89th day of our flood here in this western part of North Carolina, do you trust God? No matter what. No matter what it says, looks like, no matter what's going on, no matter what's it about, do you trust God? If you will, he will bless you for it. I'll see you soon. God bless you. Merry Christmas Eve.